with CXOs and taking ownership of end-to-end projects, my growth curve has been really good. I was awarded Employee of the Quarter and Employee of the Month simultaneously in 1 year. And I also received an early promotion to Senior Manager within less than a year. Apart from that, apart from my professional experience, I work actively with NGOs like Robin Hood Army and Vyansh Foundation. At RHA, I lead a group of volunteers in my zone, and we distribute around 10,000 meals in every month. And in my free time, I like to practice yoga and meditation, and I like to dance. Thank you, sir.
All right. And I was just going through the CV. I was going through your CV and found that you spent 6 years. You shifted your career to science, right? After 10 plus 2, you opted for science. Then you spent 4 years studying the engineering, right? Studying the information technology. And then you worked for 5 years in a management company at a management profile. So I'm getting a bit confused, right? Spending 6 years in information technology, and then switching for a job profile which is a management base. Yeah, I can see that you have mentioned that you were working as a product management manager, right? So you are
Yes.
hiring people. So it's a kind of HR job. So I'm not getting an idea. How do you shift it to this particular career? I mean, were you confused? Was the option of going for BTech IT, was it a wrong option for your career?
So, sir, from my childhood, I was interested in technology. Like, I was one of those few kids who had a computer in their home very early in their age. So, due to this growing interest, I chose computers as a stream for myself and studied engineering in that field. And while studying engineering, I realized I'm still interested in the human interaction with technology, but I want to be in a more centric role. So instead of covering just one area, which is the backend coding of a product, I chose a role which is more centric to it. So as a product manager, I work on defining the user experience, end-to-end user experience and features of these software products itself. So and as a product manager, I have to act a bridge between all the different sections involved in a business, like the senior leadership, marketing of that product, sales of that product, and of course the software development and the testing of that product. So I feel being in a more centric role, I'm touching more areas, and this goes more well with my personality as well. So I'm still working on the technological part, but in a different role.
Okay, so you meant to say that your degree in IT, your BTech degree in IT is helping you somehow in the current job that you're doing.
Yes, sir, definitely. Although as a product manager, you're not the one who is coding the product, but you need, basic understandings of how the software products are built, how it works, because you have to, manage the development teams who are working on it. You have to explain what to build. You have to define what to build, and then you have to collaborate with them on a daily basis when they are working on the project. And you have to define the timelines, and you have to sort of negotiate the timelines in which a project can be implemented. So for that, an underlying knowledge is also very important.
And why do you want to go for MBA now? Because you have worked for 5 years in this industry. You have a BTech degree, and you are using your technical skills for the job that you're currently doing. How MBA degree will differentiate your career in the future? Will it help you in career advancement? In what way it will help you?
So my long-term goal is that I want to pursue in the field of product management itself. But now I want to grow to a level of a product leader where I am managing products which have a global impact, which have a global audience. And to be in a leadership role in a few years, I feel in such a role, you will not just need, product related skill set, but you will need a good knowledge of every aspect of a business, like finance, like marketing, sales and operations. So I feel to be effective in such a job role, and so to be ready for my short term and long term goals, an MBA is really important for me, because in an MBA I would learn all these areas of a business.
What do you think? What you will be studying in MBA that will actually help you in the current job that you're doing? Some key aspects
Uh,
that you're thinking that you will be able to learn through MBA and which actually help you in your career growth.
Yes, sir. So first to that come into my mind are finance and marketing, because these are, like recently I have been in a senior management role, and these are two fields where I have, at some points faced some challenges. Like at one point of time, my CEO asked me to develop go-to-market strategy for a product as a senior manager, but I was able to do that, but it took me a fairly longer period of time, because to start with I did not have, the initial idea of how to start making a GTM strategy. So it took me a lot of time, and I feel that had I had that knowledge that one gains from such a business program, I would have done much better at my job.
Okay, tell me about a recent project or process that you have made better or smarter in a a better efficient way recently in the current job that you're doing.
Like a company process or
Yes,
related to
any
job?
project or process that you have taken up recently and you have developed it in a very efficient manner, or any project that you have been you are admired for that particular one project that you have been doing.
So if we are talking about project, as I mentioned, interview products have been, the main portfolio that I have been managing. So the latest product in that portfolio is the live interview product. So we released the MVP around 8 months ago. And within 8 months, so our key target was to, fast track the user feedback and the client feedback that I get on the product, and to enhance the product in a way that it is ready for the market. And especially because we were going through this pandemic era where such products were more than ever in demand. So I fast tracked the training of the sales and pre-sales team on this. I sat with them in the client calls so that I can play the role of product consultant, because uh, because somebody is required who has the in-depth knowledge of the product. And I made sure that whatever feedback we are getting, we incorporate that as soon as possible. So it included defining the features that we're getting as feedback in a faster manner, and in an agile manner start implementing it in parallel with the dev team. So I think we were able to do that very well. The smart meet is being used, on average 25,000 interviews every week. And our clients have given us really positive feedback, because it has really helped their processes during this pandemic era. So I think this is one of the recent successful projects that I worked on.
All right. I was looking at your academics. You scored 91 in 10th, and then in 12th, your marks were quite low as compared to 10th. And then again in graduation, you had lower marks. Are you a habitual low performer?
So I would not say that, because had I been an habitual low performer, it would have been reflected in my professional career and my GMAT exam as well. But I feel if you're talking about 12th standard, I think it was just a scenario that did not work out for me, because I moved to Kota for coaching for competitive exams, and I feel that did not work out well for me. But it was definitely a learning experience, because it taught me how you have to adapt to a new environment in a faster way, so that it doesn't affect the rest of your life, and especially the goal that you're focusing on. And second, if you're talking about graduation, I would say in graduation, my focus was academics, but in a balanced way, I also wanted to focus on an overall development of my personality. So I engaged myself, very well in other areas, like, coordinating for fest, and working with my peer group to, bring new things in the college, which would change the status quo. So one such example is that I collaborated with a group of, my seniors and my juniors, and we founded the first two co-curricular clubs of the college, which was the literary club and a debate club. And later we went on to find a dance club as well. So I was engaged in these activities during college as well. I was in a balanced way focusing on my CADs as well. And I think in that way I've done very well.
Okay. So if I assign you a project which involves a new technology, how
Yes.
would you start with that project?
So, sir, as a product manager, since I need a good understanding of the technology to, define the product and interact with the development team who would be actually working on the technology and making the product. So, I would first try to read up on the product. My main work is around defining the user experience. So, I would try to gain the knowledge that is required to do that. And another practice that I have followed till now as well, that I first interact with that particular dev team as well, so that they can help me understand the technology better. And I feel it's a more optimized way to understand that in that technology, what are the feasibility and what are the challenges that you might face. Because we can define any which feature that okay, you have to do this, but depending on the technology that you are going to use to implement it, it might not be possible, or it might be possible but in a way longer timeline. So you really need to work with the development team to understand the feasibility and the challenges that come with the technology. So I would do that.
Okay. So coming to your academics, you have spent 4 years in doing BTech degree. Can I ask you some questions from your academics? Are you comfortable with any specific subject that you want to ask questions from?
um, Sure, sir. I would need to brush up, with concepts, but I remember most of them. Subjects like software engineering and subjects like artificial intelligence were some of my favorite subjects. So,
Okay. What is
yeah.
grid computing?
Uh, so I would not recall that. Sorry.
Can I ask you some mathematical terms? Are you comfortable with maths? I mean, you must have appeared for competitive exams like IIT and IIEEE uh, during your, you know, while you were looking for a BTech degree.
Yes.
So, can I ask you some questions from mathematics? Will you be able to answer it?
Sure, sir. I would definitely like to give it a shot.
Okay. Can you integrate x square plus 2 from 0 to 2?
X square
Plus 2.
plus 2 from 0 to 2. Okay. So regarding integration, I don't remember the exact formulation, but I do remember that it is the area under the curve, and it is very useful in many of practical applications in science as well as in economy. So I won't be able to do it in exact formulations, but I do
Okay.
remember the
What
logic.
is the significance of integration? I mean, what are the practical implications of integration? You just said that
Sure.
you understand the use of
Yes.
integration in the industry. So can you tell me some implication of integrations?
So like I said that it is the area under the curve. So if you're talking about like speed versus time curve, so the area under the distance would be the area under the curve would be the distance. So in similar way in other financial or economic or mathematical graphs, if we are talking about any two terms, so if we are talking about the component that is coming from the combination of those two or is the result, we can calculate that through integration of a particular part of the curve.
And what about differentiation? What is differentiation?
So in a similar way, talking about graphs of two different quantities, differentiation can be used to calculate the rate of change of one parameter versus the other. So like if I recall a mathematical application, so the most common that we have studied is the rate of change of y versus rate of change of x, which gives us the slope of a graph or a line.
What is the derivative of absolute value of x?
The derivative of absolute. So would it be one? So I say your voice has become very low.
What is the derivative of absolute value of x? Am I clear now?
Yeah, so
Okay.
uh,
One is wrong answer.
okay. Uh,
Okay, leave it. Tell me, do you read newspaper, Deepshika?
so I try to stay updated with the latest affairs. Yes.
Tell me the three major decisions that the current government has taken in the last 1 year.
Sure, sir. If we're talking about the last 1 year, the most controversial decision that we are recently reading about in the newspapers is, of course, the farmer ordinances and the protests related to it. Another decision that has been recently made is that the government has gotten a stay order on it. And yes, so one is that. Second one, well, it's not a decision. The finance ministry is going to come up with a financial budget recently, and there have been many key decisions related to the COVID pandemic. The major
No,
decision
I'm
has
talking
been
about
the
a major decision, a major law that has been passed in the parliament in the last 1 year. A major, a major bill that have been passed through parliament. Major three major decisions. Like I can give the example of the bifurcation of Jammu and Kashmir, right? Other decision like this that the government has taken. Any two more? Like a
uh,
farm bill is
yes,
one of
sir.
that.
So, one such decision that I can recall is the ban of Chinese apps. So, recently, of course, from every country, China has been facing backlash, and our country has been no different than other countries. So, this is one such decision that they have made. Another decision that I can recall is the Citizenship Amendment Act, which was passed through the
Okay,
parliament.
talking about China, have you heard of the news of the Chinese troops are trying to infiltrate in the Indian territories? Have you heard of
Yes,
have you heard on this news? Now,
yes.
when this was in news, I remember a speech of our Prime Minister, you know, asking for going local for vocal, going vocal for local, right? So and a lot of social media videos talking about banning the Chinese products and using the Indian products. Do you think that we are relying a lot on Chinese products for in our local market? And if your answer is yes, then should we stay away from the Chinese products and start building our own products? And then again, if your answer is yes, what are the steps that you would like to take to rely on Indian made products?
Sure, sir. So, the first part of the question is that are we relying too much on China? So, to that, my answer would be yes. Because if we look at the figures, the one that I can recall over the top of my head is that we have around 50 billion trade deficit with China, which means that the difference between our exports to China and their import to us, there is 50 billion dollars more towards China. So, and I have read in the news that we rely heavily for software and hardware products on China, and also for pharmaceutical imports on China. So yes, I think we are relying too much on one country for imports. And the second part of the question is, so please let me confirm here that whether we should stay away from it, right?
Yes,
And how we
yes,
can.
yes, yes.
Uh, so I think we should definitely, as an optimal economic or strategy, you can say that we should definitely avoid this bigger dependency on one country and this bigger margin entry deficit on one country. So we should definitely avoid that. But I would say in the part of how to do that, I think it cannot be done suddenly, because of course there is dependency on one country. So of course those products are being used in our market, and a major chunk of those products can also be raw materials for the industries that are working in India. So So in India, there are ventures which are, backed by Chinese products or backed by Chinese investment, but they are providing livelihood in India, and which have consumers in India. So I think it would be required to be done in a phased manner. So first, we can start by decreasing some dependency, and at the same time, I think the government can focus on providing support to MSMEs or new businesses who can, provide alternative for Chinese products in India, so that we maintain the consumer supplies and like supplies to the consumers, but at the same time we're not hurting the demand and supply cycle. So I think that can be one thing, that government support would be required in a phased manner, of course. And the second thing would be the products that we are importing, which are being used as raw materials. So we need to find the alternatives of those. Like recently, we were studying about electronic vehicles in India, but we know that India doesn't have a good, supply of lithium. So we would, if we are going to manufacture lithium ion batteries in India, we would need to import it from China, because they have a huge supply and they are the most readily available supplier. So for such
So,
things, we need to find alternatives for. Yeah.
talking about your future, the plans for your future, right? What is the kind of industry that you work in? Is a specific industry that you have decided which you will be joining after the MBA?
So my key goal is that I want to work with global tech giants, as I mentioned, that I want to work on products which have a global audience, so that I can increase the level of impact I have through my work. If we are talking about a particular area, I would say voice, artificial intelligence assistants are, one key interest that I have had recently. Products like Alexa and Google Home. So that
Have you
would
heard
be
of
one area
Sophia?
that.
Have you heard of Sophia?
Yes, sir. It's one of the most popular AI robots in the world.
Which company
So,
developed that robot?
uh, so I cannot recall the name of the company, but I do remember watching videos and speculation how you know like a robot like Sophia can be dangerous to our society.
Okay,
So
okay. Talking about the dangers, what are the six serious, a danger of artificial intelligence in human life?
six dangers.
Yes.
Uh, sure, sir. So the so can I take a minute to
Yeah, yeah,
draft?
yeah. Please, 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 please do that.
Sure, sir. So the first one that I would like to mention, and it's the most popular fear among the human race, is that could we get to a level where artificial intelligence becomes more powerful, and there is like an AI revolution, and the robots take over the human race. So that is a long term and a serious fear, or potential dangers that we can talk about, that we get to such a level in AI without keeping moderations, that AI takes over the human species. And the second one that I would like to mention is a more recent danger that can happen in human society, is that as AI robots or AI products are developing, the human jobs are becoming more and more redundant. Their jobs are being replaced by their AI alternate. So this is one of the dangers that we can see happening in the near future. The third one that I can mention is the privacy concern. Like recently, I was talking about a company called Embers. So what they do is they process the data that they capture from, various sources and various countries all over the world, from cameras and all that, and they process it. And so, no human being knows that AI is monitoring them right now, and how they are using their data, and what conclusions they are taking from it. So I think privacy is a huge concern. Another
Okay,
concern
okay,
is also,
okay. Thank you, thank you. That's enough of it. Can you give me an example which where we are using the artificial intelligence on daily basis? Just one example where artificial intelligence is used on daily basis.
sir, I would say on daily basis, the most common application of AI that humans don't even notice is in every application on their smartphone, or in every entertainment platform that they use, is the recommendation algorithm. So every, there are so many restaurant apps, and there are so many entertainment apps that we use. So they are capturing data from
What
all
is
around
what
you,
is
and they
net
are
neutral? What is net neutrality?
uh, sorry, sir, I won't be able to recall the exact definition of net neutrality. It slipped my mind. Sorry.
All right. Thank you so much, Deepshika. That's it for my end. Thanks a lot for joining us. I just like to give you a small feedback. I can see that you're quite confident when it comes to giving answers related to your academics, right? Even the reasons why you were getting low marks, right? I see that you can still do better in terms of some subjects, some common definitions related to the academics that you have studied. For example,
Yeah,
your answer related to the explanation of application of integration was good, but then you were not able to answer you were not able to do the basic integration question. You're not able to do the basic differentiation question. Differentiation from mod x is, I guess, would is it comes under the basic part. So this can be a problem for you in the interview if they decided to ask some, academic based questions, right? Some small technical questions, right? So you need to work on that part. And then
yes,
current affairs, again, quite good answers. You represented the answers with some facts, which I actually liked it. That you have the facts related to the, you mentioned one figure, the trade deficit between India and China. So you need some more facts on it, right? Uh, Even though I find that you were not comfortable in talking about some current affair topics also, right? So you need to work a bit more on your current affairs. And also, when it comes to your future plans about artificial intelligence, I liked all the answers. You're quite comfortable, but your answers are a bit lengthy. For example, when I ask you tell me the six
yeah,
dangers of artificial intelligence, you're supposed to tell me, the six sentences on it. That's it. You're explaining every sentences, because interview will not give you that much time to explain.
got
They will
it.
not have that time. They will not spend that much time in one interview. So you need to be very specific when it comes to the sentences that you're speaking on, right? So you need to be very specific on that. Everything else is perfectly fine. I hope you converted it. And at Unacademy, we would like to help you in any way, right, that we can. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining
Thank
us.
you. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your time.